got to believe under all conditions and all circumstances. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 17.
Go ahead and read.
And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
See what it's saying? Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Let's go now to Luke chapter 12, and we'll pick it up at verse 35. I just read that so you can better understand this. Luke chapter 12, and we'll begin reading at verse 35. 12 and 35. 12 and 35. So now you got to be girded about with the truth. And then you got to be walking in it. Because the book says, not the hearers of the word shall be justified, but the doers of the word shall be justified. Let's start reading here at Luke chapter 12 and pick it up at verse 35. 12 and 35. 12 and 35. Okay? Go ahead and read.
Let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning.
Now, what is this loins you need to have girded about? Girded about with what? Girded about with the truth. And your light burning. What do it mean by your light burning? That means walking in it. You understand what I'm saying? Because the book said, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify God. So now you got to be girded about with the truth, and you got to be walking in it. Go ahead and read on.
And ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord.
See what I'm saying? Ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord when he going to show up for the wind. Go ahead and continue reading.
He will return from the way.
Uh-huh.
That when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately.
Now, in other words, when he show up and knock, then they might open unto him immediately because they are there. You know, they got their loins girded about with truth, and they're walking in this word. Therefore, when he show up and knock, they will be there to open unto him and let him come in. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 37.
Go ahead.
Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching.
Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them.
Go ahead.
And if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants.
Now, whenever the Lord, he just let you know, whenever the Lord show up, you know, if he find them watching. In other words, with their loins girded about and their light burning. Then he's going to reward them at that time. Go ahead and read on.
And this know,
Uh-huh.
that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched,
Go ahead.
and not have suffered his house to be broken through.
Uh-huh.
But ye therefore, be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think not.
Now he said, now be ye always ready. Because he said the Son of Man going to come in an hour that you think not. You know, we understand around what time the Lord is going to come, but you don't ever know when he's going to come for you. Because the book said our hour is always. You know, Jesus said, I know when my hour is, but your hour is all the time. Any moment is your hour. You understand what I'm saying? So now he said, you don't know what hour he's going to show up for you. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 41.
Go ahead and read.
Then Peter said unto him,
Uh-huh.
Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even to all?
Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season?
See what I say? Who is that faithful and wise steward that the Lord will make ruler over his household and give him meat in due season? When is due season? That is when he show up. So now when he going to make ruler? Because that's what we are striving to be. Rulers over the Lord's household. We are striving to get in his kingdom and rule with him in his kingdom. And when is that going to take place? At his coming. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
Go ahead.
Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he hath.
Go ahead.
But, and if that servant say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming,
Uh-huh.
he shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken.
Now he said, if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. In other words, he go back and start doing the things of the world. He said, my Lord delayeth his coming, then the Lord going to show up. Go ahead and read on.
The Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him.
Go ahead.
And at an hour when he is not aware.
Go ahead.
And will cut him in sunder.
Uh-huh.
And will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers.
Now you know what an unbeliever's going to be, right? Go ahead and read on.
And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself.
He said the servant that knew his Lord, well, you know, he ain't have no excuse.
Right.
You understand? He understood the word. He knew exactly what the Lord required, but he didn't prepare himself. Go ahead and read on.
Neither did according to his will.
Uh-huh.
Shall be beaten
See what I said? He knew his Lord will. He didn't do his Lord will and did not prepare himself. He said he will be beat with many stripes. Go ahead and read on.
But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of strife shall be beaten with few stripes.
In other words, I ain't going to let him off the hook. Even though he might be somewhat ignorant, I ain't totally letting him off the hook either. Because he really don't have no excuse because the knowledge was available. You understand what I'm saying? But since he didn't know, I'm not going to whip him with a lot of stripes. I'm going to whip him, though, but it will be with a few stripes. Go ahead and read on. Go ahead and read.
Unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required.
Go ahead.
And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more.
Now, the Lord going to do this at what time? When he show up for the wedding, it said, didn't it? Let's go further. Let's go now to Matthew chapter 25, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. 25 and 1. 25 and 1. You got two more scriptures after this, and that is it. Matthew 25, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. 25 and 1. Okay, go ahead and read.
Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Go ahead.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
Now you had these 10 virgins, 5 of them wise and 5 of them foolish. Go ahead and read.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
Now you said the ones that was foolish, they took their lamp and didn't take no oil. What good is a lamp if you ain't got no oil? You understand what I'm saying? So now they got a lamp, but they ain't got no oil because it can't bear no light, can it? You understand what I'm saying? So now what good is it? So that's why the book said they was foolish. Go ahead and read on.
But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
Go ahead.
While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
Now he said, while the bridegroom tarried, then they all slumbered and slept. Who is the bridegroom? That is the Lord. He said they all slumbered and they slept. Go ahead and read on.
And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him.
Now he said, at midnight, there was a cry made, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Go ahead and read on.
Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps.
Uh-huh.
And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil,
Uh-huh.
for our lamps are gone out.
Now they have a lamp, but they didn't have no oil. In other words, they was not prepared. You understand what I'm saying? And how do you prepare yourself? We just read it, didn't it? By walking in right. You know, girded about with the truth and your light burning. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't got no oil, so their light truly couldn't be burning, could it? Go ahead and read on.
But the wise answered, saying,
Uh-huh.
Not so.
Go ahead.
Lest there be not enough for us and you.
Go ahead.
But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
Go ahead.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came.
Uh-huh.
And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage.
Uh-huh.
And the door was shut.
Then they that was ready, they went into the marriage, and then the Lord shut the door after that. You know, these were the ones that had prepared themselves. You know, they was girded about with the truth, and they had their light burning. You understand what I'm saying? So now the Lord say, you know, y'all that are ready, y'all come on in. And after you get in, then the Lord slammed the door in those faces that wasn't ready. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
Verse 11.
Go ahead and read.
Afterward came also the other virgins, saying,
Uh-huh.
Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not.
You know, these are the ones that the Lord was talking about, you know, telling him about what all they had done in his name and all of that stuff. And the Lord said, Depart from me, you work of iniquity. I never knew you. You know, you did all of this stuff in my name, but you didn't do what I told you to do. That's why when they showed up for the wedding, the Lord slammed the door in their face. Go ahead and read on.
Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh.
Now let's go and look at it again. Let's go this time to Luke chapter 13, and we'll pick it up at verse 22. Luke 13, and we'll begin reading at verse 22. 13 and 22. 13 and 22. Okay, 13 and 22. Okay, you get it? Go ahead and read.
And he went through the cities and villages, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem.
Uh-huh.
Then said one unto him, Lord, are there few that be saved?
Now they asked him, Lord, are there few that be saved? Go ahead and read.
And he said unto them, Strive to enter in at the strait gate.
Now he says, strive to enter in at the straight gate. That means, you know, doing the thing that the Lord commanded you how to do. So now he says, strive to enter into the straight gate. Go ahead and read on.
For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able.
Now he's not